with a star-studded cast, including Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, Kiefer Sutherland, and directed by Clint Eastwood, produced by Clint Eastwood. We have Juror number 2, a 12A rated courtroom thriller. Did I enjoy it? Well, court is in session on this one, so let's find out. So hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to my review for Juror number 2. This is Clint Eastwood's final foray into movies. This is his last directing gig, apparently. I'm pretty sure he said that the last film he'd done was his last one as well, although he is very old now, isn't he? And I'm sure that that clock hasn't got long before it stops. The film's written by Jonathan A. Abrams, and it's a story about this court case revolving around this individual that has been that is being prosecuted for the murder of his girlfriend. And we have this jury put together, and one of the individuals on this jury is played by Nicholas Hoult, called Justin Kemp. Only when he gets onto the jury and hears the case and what's going on, he comes to realise, and this isn't a spoiler because it's given away at the very beginning of the film, that actually he may be the person that's actually inadvertently killed this girl on a very rainy night, having clipped her with his car, thrown her over a bridge, but believing that he clipped a deer. So he has this moral question hovering over him the whole way through this film. Does he put an innocent man behind bars? Does he try and sway the rest of the jury to get this geezer off? What does he decide to do? Toni Collette as Faith Kilbrew, sorry. She's the prosecutor, and she's very close to becoming district attorney, and it's all riding on this case for her. We have J.K. Simmons at play as Harold, who's an individual who's on the court as well, who's there in the jury. And we have Kiefer Sutherland as a friend of Nicholas Hoult, who's a lawyer himself, but he hasn't really got much to do in the film whatsoever. So this film takes you on this journey of this individual, like I said, who's questioning his morals and what he should do. He's got a family on the way. He's got a wife who's on the cusp of giving birth. They've lost children before and all this sort of thing. And as the story proceeds, it's very slow going. The film runs for like 1 hour and 54 minutes, but as it proceeds, it isn't until about the 56th minute in the film that I felt this film came to life, and that's when they started to include a bit more of J.K. Simmons' character, who actually plays a former police officer who starts investigating the goings on himself and comes to realise that actually, you know, although he doesn't link it to him, he gets a list of all vehicles that were repaired in that time frame, in the period of when this accident took place, and lo and behold, one of Nicholas Hoult's vehicle is on this list, but he doesn't see him as being a potential person involved in this. It's all very odd. And then all of a sudden, J.K. Simmons disappears from the fray. He's like ejected from the film. Kiefer Sutherland's there, but I don't really know why. Maybe it was a payday or the chance to work with Clint Eastwood. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Clint Eastwood? But he hasn't got a lot to do, and again, he disappears from the film as well. Kind of no sort of goodbye or anything. He's just gone. Same with J.K. Simmons, like I said. Toni Collette, she kind of figures out what goes on and all this sort of a thing, and that's what the film's about. It's a court case. Now, the biggest thing for me is I'm not big on court case movies anyway. Some I like, some I don't. And unfortunately, this film sways more towards the don't. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad film, because it's very well acted. It's very well directed. But I have personal issues with this film, okay? I like Clint Eastwood. I think he's a great director. I think he's a great actor as well. However, I'm not a fan of Nicholas Hoult. So the whole way through the film, I was hoping that Nicholas Hoult got done for what he did, got done for the crime and all this sort of a thing. I was not, you know, I wanted to see him go down, basically. Yeah, it's a funny film, right? Because on the one hand, yes, it's well written, yes, it's well directed. I do think the story is a little bit boring. I'll be honest. I wasn't invested at all, not until J.K. Simmons came into play, because I'd started questioning, at this point, why is J.K. Simmons even there? Until he had a little bit to do, and he didn't have much to do. That's the problem, right? Nicholas Hoult, like I said, no, I'm not a fan of his. He hasn't done a film yet that's got me to buy into him and what he does and what he's about. So, Toni Collette, I could take her or leave her, but she was pretty good. And Kiefer Sutherland, completely wasted. But yeah, the film is boring for the first half. Picks up pace in the second half, most definitely. Gets us a bit more interest in what it does until we reach the conclusion. And I do like the way that the film ultimately concluded. But it's certainly not a film that I would go back and revisit. And as a sort of swan song for Clint Eastwood, it's a shame, really. It's a shame. But there you go. That's only my opinion. You may like it. You may love it. When you see it, make sure to let me know. Thanks for watching.